Hello everyone, this is Adhar Vashne, and in this video we are going to see how to integrate Firestore database into your Chrome extension. After watching this video, you will be able to create any Chrome extension which will make use of any product of Firebase. Actually, in Manifest version 2, which was the older version of Manifest or Chrome extensions, we could easily make use of the scripts which are hosted on a remote server. But now in Manifest version 3, that is not possible because of security reasons. It has removed so that we cannot access those scripts, and Firebase provides us SDK via CDN, so we cannot import that since that is again from external sources. So in Manifest version 3, one way was we could download those scripts and store it locally in our Chrome extension folder. But now in the newer version of Firebase SDK, which is greater than 9.x, that version, that is not supporting service workers. And in Manifest version 3, as we know, we use service workers. So one method which I found out was we can download those scripts, but the version will be less than 9x, which is 8 series or something like that. So that was one way, and another way which I could find was via using APIs. So we could create APIs, and it is very easy to create APIs for any product of Firebase. And then using some routes, we could easily communicate through our application and API, and host that API on Heroku and Netlify, some products like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create that API and host it on a server. Host it on Heroku and Netlify, and then in upcoming videos I'll show you how to download the older version of Firebase SDK and make use of that. So now let's get started. So now I'm inside my Visual Studio Code, and inside here we'll create our API, our Chrome extension, and we'll also host our API. So let us create a folder named as API, and then open terminal and cd into the directory which we just created, which was API. Now type npm init -y. So this will create empty npm package for us, which is the starting of Node project. And now what we're gonna do is download some modules. So type npm I or npm install cors express and firebase admin. Firebase admin. So these are the three modules which we need to download. Cors will help us to remove that cors error, which is cross origin request, and Express will help us set up our API routes, and Firebase admin is the main module which will help us communicate through our Firebase project. Now meanwhile, when it is downloading, we'll create our Firebase project. So head on to firebase.google.com and create your account or login, and then go to the console and click add project. Inside here type Firestore or whatever you like, Firestore Chrome extension, and type hit enter, and disable the Google Analytics for this project. Create project. Now it is creating our project for us. So now it is created, and now we can click continue. And now what we want to do is click on this gear icon and hit users and permissions. Now head on to service accounts, and here create a service account. So this service account will help us to communicate our Chrome extension, our API to this project. Now make sure Node.js is selected and copy this code and click generate new private key. This will generate a private key which will contain all the details of a project. Now click generate key and drag this to the folder, in the folder which is inside which this packages are there. Now here we need to rename this. I'm gonna name it as permissions.json, and also now we need to create index.js, which is the entry point of our Node API. Inside index.js, what we want to do is type this And this is just requiring all the modules which we have installed, Cores, Express, and Firebase admin. And here we are defining the port on which our app will run. And then we are creating our app, Express app, and we are using Cores inside that. Now what we want to do is paste the code which we just copied from Firestore, which is this, and remove this line as we already have required that module. And here enter the path of your permissions.json file or whatever you have named it. So we're going to type permissions.json, and then it is initializing our app via this credentials which we just downloaded, which is permissions.json. And then we're gonna type db is equals to admin.firestore. So I'm just making an instance of Firestore database into this API. Type here whatever the service you are using, and make sure you look at the docs of Firestore, or sorry, Firebase. Now at the end we are going to type app.listen and port comma an arrow function which will console.log listening on port, and then we'll type port. Yeah, so what I've written over here is it is listening our app which is running our API on the port which we have defined over here, which is 3000. And when the app is done, running, then it will console.log listening on port and the port number. Now this is the basic boilerplate code for our API. Inside here we'll type whatever we want. Inside here we'll create some routes. So I'll link that this code into the in the description, and you can also take a reference from docs of Firebase. So I'm just pasting some routes, and these are two routes, basic routes. You can also create some routes for updating the Firestore document, or even creating a new collection, or whatever. So I've created two: reading a particular item from a collection, which is this. The route will be slash read and slash the collection name of which you want to read, and slash the item ID. This will do that. And this is just the Firestore calls which we are making, and then we are sending the response. You can again take reference from documentations. And the second one is reading on the all the documents from a collection. So this is the route for that. And also for this to work, we are going to create Firestore database. So click Firestore and click create database, and start in test mode because this is just test. Next, and select a Firestore location where you want the server, and then enable. Now it is creating Firestore database for us. And the collection ID, let us keep it as test. And next, now document ID, let us keep it at auto ID, and the field whatever you want. So we are just creating a sample document inside our collection. So we are creating a test collection. Inside that we have a document, and inside that we have field. So now let us go back to our code, and this code is done. We are gonna type node index.js. It says listening on port 3000. So for accessing this, we are gonna type http://localhost port 3000 slash read slash test, because the route was let me show it, read slash collection name, and a collection name is test. So we are going to type read slash test. Now hit enter. Yeah, as you can see, it gave us the data of our collection. So now our API is ready. You can add more routes to it so that you can make use of more, like update the collection, update the document, create a new collection, whatever. You can refer docs for it. Now let's stop our server by pressing Ctrl+C, and our API is done. Now what we need to do is host this API on Heroku. So for that, let us go to heroku.com, and here log into your Heroku ID, or if you haven't created one, create it and then log in. Since I have already created 3 apps, it is showing over here. And if you want, it will not show any app for you. It will show an empty screen. Now type Heroku CLI in Google search bar. So to download Heroku CLI, this devcenter.heroku.com, click on it. We're downloading this to enable Heroku in our command line, which is command line interface CLI. And here scroll down and download whatever system you have, and then go to your CLI, which is command line, and here type Heroku dash version to check if your Heroku CLI is downloaded. It gives us the CLI version, so that means it is downloaded. Now type Heroku login, so that we can log into our account and create our app inside that account. Press any key, yeah, and should open a browser tab. Now log into your Heroku account and close this tab now. It says logged in as your email ID, and then type git init. It will initialize a empty git repository for us. So now we are going to create a new file, which is .gitignore. This file will contain all those files and folders name which will not be sent to the git repository. So we are not going to send git modules to our repository, since we can create that by typing npm install. That will install all the git modules. And if you have .env file inside this, then you can type that also in here. Now the second file which we need to create is Procfile. This Procfile that doesn't have any extension, just Procfile. So this is a specific file for Heroku. This contains the command that will help Heroku understand how to run our app. So we are going to type web colon node index.js. So it says in the web version, which is our API, that will run by node index.js. Save it and let us close that. Now our 2 files are created. Now let us create a new app for this project. So for that, type Heroku create. It is creating a new Heroku app for us. Yep, that is created. And one more change in index.js which I forgot was process.env.port. So what I have written here is process.env, which is accessing the environment variables, and the variable name is port. So we are accessing that environment variable. So what Heroku does is it creates an environment variable for us, which is the port. So we can use the port of Heroku. We are not going to decide that. So if it does exist, we are going to use that, and if it doesn't, then we are going to use 3000. And this is what these two means. Now save this index.js and type git add dot. This is adding all the files to our git repository which we just created. And then type git commit and give a message to it, adding files or whatever you want. And now our changes are committed. Now we are gonna type git push Heroku master. So this is pushing our code to Heroku, the origin Heroku, and the master is the branch. So now it is pushing and it is building our app, which is downloading Node modules, and then building our app. So after a few seconds, this is done. And now let us check our Heroku dashboard. Yeah, it shows the app which I just created. What was the app name? Peaceful Rewind. Okay, this one. Click on it and you can check that it is deployed just now. And now click open app on this top right. It says cannot get slash because we haven't added any slash. So we're going to type read slash test. So this is our API URL. Then we are typing the route, which is read slash test, which is the collection name for us. So if I hit enter, it should give the data. Yeah, it gives this data, which is the collection data. And now this URL can be accessed anywhere. We are going to use this in our Chrome extension. So now let's quickly create a Chrome extension. So create a new folder as Chrome underscore extension and spelling mistake, sorry, Chrome extension. And inside here create manifest.json file. As we know, this is mandatory for any Chrome extension. We're gonna give name of our extension, and that name will be Firestore extension. And then the description for our app or extension, Firestore extension. And you can give anything which you want, and then type version, the version of our extension, which is 0.0.1 for initial. You can keep anything. And then we are gonna make manifest version, manifest underscore version, and that will define as 3. Make sure this is integer, not string. Now after that, we are gonna type action, and inside action we are gonna type default popup, default underscore popup, and the file for it is popup.html. We are going to create that right now. So let us copy this, and that's it for manifest.json. We have made our name of our extension, the description, the version, and the manifest version, which is 3. And then we are making the default popup as popup.html. Let us create that file as well, and the basic HTML boilerplate code, HTML5. And then we are gonna type script src is equals to popup.js and script. Yeah, so you have imported the R script, which is popup.js. Let us create that as well, popup.js. And now in here we are gonna this is not any complex extension, I'm just telling you how to access the data. So here type document dot add event listener DOM content loaded, and then give a arrow function, then type fetch. We're gonna use fetch because in manifest version 3 we cannot use XML HTTP request. Inside fetch we'll we're gonna type API underscore URL. That API URL is, we just copied, remove these routes. So this is the API URL for us, and now we are gonna access that API via this URL. Sorry, API underscore URL, and this plus the route. For now we are gonna make it as slash read slash test, which is just getting the code for test collection. Fetch, and then type dot then take response, and then return the response.json, and again then type dot then, and here we are gonna get the data. Let us console dot log the data and save this. Go to Chrome colon slash slash extensions, load unpacked, and select your extension. Now click select folder. Could not load manifest Firestore motion. Oh, the spelling mistake. It is manifest.json. And again, go back to the Chrome and retry. That is loaded. Now, if I open the pop-up in the console of it, I'm gonna get the data. Is not valid JSON. Okay. Proper.js. Oh, I found out the mistake. That was we are taking this URL which contains slash, and then we are again giving slash. So let us remove this slash. So now the URL will be this thing plus this thing. No double slash, only a single slash. Now if I save it and reload, remove the errors, reload, open our pop-up and check the console of it, we should get the data. Yeah, as you can see, we get an array. Inside that we have an object. Inside that we have ID and the item. So that's a way how to access this Firestore database into your Chrome extension. Now you can use this data anywhere which you want. Just make sure you use this fetch request and make sure and any like the route which you have created. So now that's it for this tutorial. Hope you like this, and in the upcoming tutorials I'll show the downloading older version of Firebase SDK, that method. Okay, so thank you.